watching a Screaming Fish here, people, once again here for you guys with yet another video, and this time we are doing something pretty different. In the trailer for my channel, I promised video game reviews, so today is the day I live up to my promise, because today, my friends, we are going to be reviewing Injustice 2. Ha! Oh wait, I'm the only one in the room. So, yeah, anyway, let's get on with my review of Injustice 2. I do hope you enjoy this, so, yeah, also, I'm a bit rusty when it comes to video game reviews, so please forgive me if I make mistakes, but, yeah, let's get on with the review and actually review Injustice so I can shut the heck up and let you listen to the review, okay? Injustice 2, which was developed by NetherRealm Studios, the creators of the Mortal Kombat series, is a game I have been looking forward to for years. The first Injustice game proved that a fighting game with DC superheroes could actually work if done right, and was one of my favourite games of that year. I wasn't just hyped for this game purely because I love NetherRealm Studios and their games are fantastic, though that does add to it, but it was really the fact that I can finally play a game where I can beat the hell out of Superman as Batman in a game that actually makes the idea of Batman v Superman seem fun. That idea just sounds amazing in my head. So now that I've actually played it and experienced every part of the game, I can now share my thoughts on the game with you guys and not just talk about the cutscenes like some people have been doing. But anyway, I'm not here to criticize other people's work. I'm here to share my thoughts on a video game with you guys, so let's actually get on with that, shall we? To no surprise, as it is with most of NetherRealm's games, the gameplay here is the main highlight. Gameplay-wise, this is NetherRealm's best game since Mortal Kombat X. It's fast, thrilling, and the vast varieties of combos you can create during a match are almost endless. You can now launch your opponents off the ground, into walls, and in some cases even launch them through the freaking ceiling, or just high enough that you can perform a juggle combo on them. The environmental interactions scattered through all the maps were always fun and creative, alongside some flashy but awesome transitions and some of the most over-the-top super moves you could possibly imagine. I had an unbelievable amount of fun playing as these characters and using their combos and special moves, and I love going on the ladder system and seeing the character endings because they add elements to these characters that we do not get in the story. More on that later. The endings do a lot to develop these characters and set up their motivations in the story. This game definitely feels and plays better than the first game, and that is thanks to some new additions to the gameplay, like gaining meter that you can use to survive invulnerable attacks from your opponents, block environmental attacks, and also get past the occasional trigger-happy morons. However, spending your meter may alter the traits of your special move, but that does offer new uses for combos. The increase in speed here makes the gameplay feel more slick and agile, and while matches can feel a little too short at times, it's definitely an improvement over the at times sluggish pace of not only the first Injustice game, but even some of the more recent Mortal Kombat games. Once you've probably mastered the game mechanics though, it will be a blast for you. Hands down, the best addition to this game is the multiverse. In some ways you can describe the multiverse as NetherRealm's answer to Destiny, only difference A, there's variety, B, it's fun, and C, it's not boring in any way, shape or form. The multiverse not only gives you the ability to level up your fighters and unlock stat boosting equipment that you can use in challenges that change every day, but it also gives you the ability to unlock gear that you can use to customize your characters. I love doing the missions in the multiverse. They can get a little frustrating at times, but the fact that they can change every day brings an overwhelming sense of variety to this game. The character customization here is also fantastic. I really did enjoy changing the appearances of characters like Batman and Harley Quinn, and granting them new abilities depending on what gear I unlocked for them. However, the amount of gear you can obtain to customize your character is a mere fraction of this game. The amount of content that is presented here is unbelievable. There are general and specific character tutorials on how to play this game, but those walkthroughs only scratch the surface of the literal shipload beneath this game. The tutorials don't even teach you every combo, they only give you the simple details you need to actually play the game, and then you're just left to figure out the rest on your own. And I think that's actually a great way to grab one's attention, because the less you show them, the more they'll want to discover and figure out how to use, and I think this game does that perfectly. Although you really want to practice for a while before taking on the big guns, because believe me, if you go in too soon, you will be destroyed. From a visual standpoint, this is NetherRealm's best. The environments look fantastic, the textures and lighting is some of the best I've seen in recent memory, and the characters are damn near photorealistic in some cases. The CG animated cutscenes are brilliant, the movement of the characters looks and feels real even when we're talking about characters like Flash and Cyborg. As for the main campaign for the game, I will admit it's a little hit or miss for me. I have no problem with the extremely dark tone this game has going for it. In fact, I would say it's one of the strongest elements of the game. The first half of the campaign is excellent. It was really cool seeing Batman having to go up against the people he once called friends in a flashback sequence that takes place before the first game. I like seeing what Batman and Co were doing to help the world recover from Superman's wrath in the first game, and I have to say, I really like the idea of Gorilla Grodd forming his own team of villains to take over the world. That was actually a really cool side plot. I have to admit, the most interesting part of this campaign for me was actually Green Lantern doing everything he can to win back the trust of Batman and redeem himself. Watching Green Lantern go on that journey towards redemption alongside the Flash was actually fascinating to me, and at times kinda heartbreaking, and his confrontation with Atrocitus later in that chapter was probably the highlight of the campaign. The second half of the campaign lost momentum for me, unfortunately. The graphics were still great, it's just the second half of the campaign felt very by the books in the way it was written, and in some cases kind of rushed. For example, the mother and daughter relationship between Wonder Woman and Supergirl was one of the most interesting things about the campaign, but when Supergirl refuses to let Wonder Woman kill a certain villain, Wonder Woman without a second thought tries to kill her, and I was sitting there thinking, wait, where did that come from? The second half of the campaign also had a few plot holes in it. For starters, there's a scene where a character gets vaporized, there's nothing left of him, and there's even a scene just after that where they're all mourning his death. But later near the end of the game, that character shows up again, alive and well, with basically nothing to explain how this character is even alive. I'm not even joking, there's not even a scratch on him. There's also unfortunately a few characters that are in the story mode for no other reason than so you can fight them later in the game. I was really interested to see what they were going to do with Swamp Thing in this game, but to my dismay, similar to Justice League Dark earlier this year, he was reduced to a glorified cameo. That was disappointing, and unfortunately other really cool characters like the Joker and Dr. Fate got the same treatment. I also have to admit that Brainiac as a villain just wasn't that intriguing. He's great as a final boss on the ladder mode, he's actually very challenging to beat and I enjoy fighting him, but as a villain in the story mode, he's not really that interesting, and I found him to be a walking cliche at times. He's a very by-the-books villain, and some people are going to disagree with me on that one, but I just don't think he's very good. That said, throughout the entire campaign, the interactions between Batman and Superman never falter. Seeing two people with two completely different ideologies on how the world should be protected being forced to work together out of desperation was definitely one of the highlights of the campaign, and it made for some very interesting conversations between the two characters that I really enjoyed. Despite the problems I have with the campaign, I still really enjoy playing this game. The gameplay from the first game is improved upon here to near perfection. It's unbelievably fun, particularly when you're playing with friends. The graphics are fantastic, and love or hate this game, you cannot deny that beating up Superman as Harley Quinn is amazing. Injustice 2 is a fantastic game. NetherRealm Studios have really outdone themselves this time, and it's easily the best game I've played this year. And I seriously recommend you go and buy it. It'll be worth every penny in your wallet, I assure you. Guys, that was my review of Injustice 2. I do hope you enjoyed it. Have you played it? What did you think of it? Did you think it was good? Did you think it was bad? Did you think it was somewhere in the middle? Please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and I will indeed see you guys in the next one. Now I am going to get a big glass of water because it is just so hot. It's so hot. Yeah. Goodbye, guys.